Hello. I have watched in most instances where Lamidia Papa and is it Arabambi try to accuse Peter Obi of wrongdoings, and in doing so, they made themselves very, very laughable. One of such attempts in accusing Peter Obi of wrongdoing is asking the question or putting the question forward to the public as to why Peter Obi is not suing Atiku, but rather Tinubu. Now, when you watch the scope of the question, it clearly shows people who are working for Tinubu. Now, putting the question to the public as to why Peter Obi is not suing Atiku is just a clear indication of an attempt to ridicule one's self. First and foremost, Atiku is not the one declared by INEC as having won the presidential election of the 25th of February 2023. Atiku is not the person in power. Atiku is not the person that regulated the conduct of the presidential election. Atiku is not the one that announced the results. And let me tell the public something again. Atiku himself knows that Peter Obi won this election. Atiku himself knows Peter Obi won this election. One of his spokesperson was on Arise TV said, and he said to the general public that in their situation room in Lagos State, that he won by a landslide. That was not Labour Party talking. That was not Peter Obi talking. That was Atiku's camp confirming Peter Obi's exploits in Lagos. So, directing the attention of the public as to why Peter Obi is not attacking Atiku or suing Atiku, it's ridiculous. Why would Peter Obi sue Atiku? Why will Peter Obi sue Atiku? Now, the script of those who manipulated this result was just for future argumentative purposes. Those who felt they needed to manipulate this result didn't think they were so engrossed in putting a narrative for argumentative purposes, they forgot that this is not 2015, 2011. They forgot that this is actually a digitalized election where people can actually make references. Now, the narrative was simple. Allow Peter Obi to win Lagos. But Peter Obi won Lagos more than that. Well, just bring it down. Let it not be too much. Peter Obi won Lagos landslide. Any attempt to have turned the Lagos vote around would have been so chaotic. So it's okay. Let's give him Lagos. At least we'll say the election was not rigged. If we had rigged it, how can Peter Obi win Lagos, where Tinubu hailed from? Now, Abuja, if INEC had known that Abuja would be an issue as it is today, they would have ensured that Tinubu got 25% of Abuja. It was just an oversight which emanated from the emphasis of this misdirection, this narrative that they scripted for. So the truth is was just allow Peter Obi win Lagos, allow Peter Obi win Abuja, so that when the argument comes, if it was rigged, Peter Obi won Abuja, Peter Obi won Lagos, blah 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 blah. The truth is that thank God, thank God, the British Commission, Britain has asserted and confirmed what everybody in Nigeria knows, that this election was marred with irregularities and deliberate manipulation of the results. Well, I'm very happy with all this thing that is coming up because it's going to help the judiciary to do what is right. Any attempt of the judiciary to rule otherwise from what the whole world knows will only set the country ablaze. And I'm sure that the judiciary this time, for the first time in Nigeria, will not do what is wrong. In conclusion, Peter Obi does not need to sue Atiku. Atiku didn't win this election. Atiku and his camp knows that they didn't win this election. Even in Adamawa State, Peter Obi got an overwhelming vote in Atiku State. So Atiku knows. I think what Atiku is doing is leaning on the petition of Peter Obi, such that if the judiciary, if the tribunal rules fairly and disqualifies Tinubu, and there is a rerun between Atiku and Peter Obi, what did I say? If there is a rerun between Atiku and Peter Obi, I think Atiku fancies his chance of winning Peter Obi in a face-to-face runoff with Peter Obi. I think that is what Atiku's petition is hinging on, that the elections will be cancelled and Tinubu will be disqualified. That leaves him and Peter Obi in a situation where an election is conducted, a rerun, is conducted between Atiku and Peter Obi. Atiku fancies his chance more because those who voted for Tinubu will turn around to vote for Atiku. I think that is just his plan. But as far as the 2023 election is concerned, Atiku himself knows that Peter Obi won. So some people are putting up the argument that someone who came third is arguing to. If you watch the results, it was just a way of putting Tinubu way ahead of the other two and sharing 6 million to Atiku and Peter Obi, and then putting Atiku slightly above Peter Obi, so that at the time when the result is released, it might look too overwhelming for any of the other opposition to go to court and drag the case. Fortunately, I just think INEC and Tinubu and APC didn't think this whole thing through. And one of the reasons why they didn't think it through was simply because that this was not the manual process of before. This was now a digitalized election process. They didn't take into cognizance of the digital aspect of this whole thing, and therefore the manipulation gave a lot of loopholes, a lot of evidence to pinpoint out. And this is why you can actually go to the IREF and get the actual result as posted by INEC in comparison to what was declared and the difference exposed to the world. So Peter Obi doesn't need, there's no reason why Peter Obi would even want to sue Atiku. Atiku is not the one in charge of INEC. Atiku is not the one in power. Atiku, by the situation report of Labour Party knows that Atiku didn't win. So why would you sue somebody that didn't win? So that's just it. Peter Obi won this election by his landslide. Peter Obi won. The result declared from Plateau State, where I reside, is way manipulated. Peter Obi won Plateau State in a landslide. Same thing for Benue State, same thing for Rivers State, same thing for many states, Delta State, for instance, Kaduna State, Adamawa State. In fact, the judiciary is the one holding the peace of this country. The tribunal is the one holding the peace of this country. And I say this honestly to the tribunal. Say something that is not true and you will set this country on fire. Please do not set this country on fire. Tribunal, do not set this country on fire. Say what is right. My name still remains Magnus Oraka. Please follow this page and share this video now.